Hi, it's like 102.9's Darla Thomas. I'm sitting here at Flight Time from the Harlem Globetrotters. Very excited because I'm a big Amazing Race fan, and they're in town this week. So this is like a double bonus for me, getting to see the Globetrotters and also getting to meet one of the reality TV stars that I watch all the time. Thanks for coming in.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So you're in town all week because you guys are doing 2 games this weekend at the arena, Time Warner Cable Arena, Friday and Saturday. And you're also going to Greenville. You're traveling all over the place, doing the whole thing, huh?
That's right. I mean, this past weekend I was in Greensboro, and immediately after that game I drove up here. Got here Monday and just been going around getting people excited about the 2 shows that we have on Friday night at 7 and 1 o'clock Saturday. So my advice to people is to come out Friday. You might have so much fun you want to come back again.
Oh, see, there you go. Double sell there. I love that. Well, I want to ask you, I mean, we were talking a little bit off camera, and you said that you've been on the team the longest. How did you get involved in the Globetrotters? I mean, I read a little bit about you, and you seemed like a guy who had a lot of options for his life. So what made you decide to do this with your career?
Well, I mean, everybody's story is different about joining the Globetrotters, but I mean, there's not a lot of basketball jobs in the United States. Of course, you got the NBA, you got a couple of minor leagues, but I mean, then you got the Globetrotters. The way it happened for me is after I won the college slam dunk contest back in '98.
I saw that, yeah, pretty cool.
Four, and after that, it was the year that the NBA had a lockout in '98. So I didn't go to any training camps or anything like that because there was none to go to. So I eventually went back to school for the final semester, graduated, worked as a personal trainer for about 10 months.
Really?
And my roommate, who was a little bitty Asian guy, about 5'7", he went to the Globetrotter game while I was working. And he came back that night, and he had this book. He said he'd asked the guy, what you have to do to be a Globetrotter. So the guy kind of looked at him kind of funny because he's like 5'7" and Asian. And he told me that it was for me and not for him. So after a few weeks, I eventually called them, and they gave me an address, so I sent video in.
So you auditioned for it? You sent a tape, and that's how it works?
I didn't necessarily audition. I did a lot of different tapes anyway, just send them overseas and things like that. But I did send them one. And they eventually invited me to training camp, and that's where the auditioning took place.
That's pretty cool. So how many years has it been now that you've been on the team?
It's my 12th year.
12 years.
12 years and 85 countries later.
85 years, 85 countries.
There you
85
go.
years. So here's my question. I read that you're a reality TV junkie. So I guess it's not surprising to me that you're on a reality TV show, but what drew you to a show like Amazing Race? Because you travel all over the world. You've been to 85 countries. Why did you decide to take, I guess, is it 3 months of your life? How long does that take to take that show?
Well, actually, it takes about a month to film.
It only takes a month,
yeah,
really?
But I mean, the thing about the Amazing Race, I remember the first season. I think the first season that it started there was like my second season with the Globetrotters.
Yeah. Oh, really?
And I was thinking that I could probably do pretty well on that show with my travel experience, because even in my first 2 years, I had been to like 20 countries around the world, and I mean, the opportunity came up about 2 years ago. We had some people come up and ask us about possibly doing it. So my teammate Big Easy and I, we put on we did an audition tape. We put it together ourselves, and you can still see it on YouTube. Our first audition tape, and
I love to see that.
It worked out for us. We didn't win the first time. We came in fourth, but the thing about it is, if we would have won the first time, we wouldn't have had a chance to come back and do it again.
So I guess I had some listeners write in about you and about the show, and they wanted to know how many camera operators travel with each team.
Okay.
And when you guys are messing up and you don't know where something is, why aren't you looking at the camera operator? Because they seem to be filming it and showing, hey, where's my clue? And they turn, So how many travel with you guys?
Well, the thing about it, once you're actually together traveling, you have a sound man and you have a sound guy.
Okay.
And, the way the challenges are set up, when you get to certain areas, they have like spot cameras. So that's why it looks like more than one person's following you around, but normally it's just one sound guy and one cameraman.
So you don't necessarily see what the spot camera people are doing.
Right.
So
a lot of times you can't see them because they're kind of hidden, and they don't want you to see them because that kind of gives you a clue that that's kind of where you need to be. So it's hard to spot them a lot of the time. But everybody gets one cameraman and one sound guy, and a lot of times it can make or break you if you got a good good crew that can run.
The things that you find out.
Exactly.
Because you got to stay with the crew.
Right. Exactly. You can never be more than 8 feet away from them.
Really?
And you can't be 8 feet away from your partner.
So let's go back to the Harlem Globetrotters. I have 2 little kids, 9 and 7, and it's hard to find good family entertainment nowadays. So tell me why somebody who's deciding what to do this weekend should pick your event this weekend.
Okay, well, first of all, I know you got Duke in North Carolina coming up, and I was at
neither one my team, by the way, but that's okay.
I was at the news station. They used to tell me how much it's going to cost to get there. It was like $1,000. Once you buy the ticket and the flight, it's not going to cost you that much to come see the Globetrotters.
Okay,
but
there
the
you go.
Globetrotters have been around for 85 years, and the thing that's kept us around so long is tradition. Curly Neal and Mel Lemon. That's of course who everybody talks about, and people have memories from being kids. And what we do is now we have an opportunity to carry on the same memories and give those kids the same memories that their parents had when they were younger. So, I mean, I think that's why people keep coming back. You know, people keep coming back to see the bucket of confetti. People keep coming back to see the interaction with the crowd. And, I mean, you can be 3 years old, you can be 95 years old, and you can still come to the Globetrotter game, not necessarily even being a basketball fan, and have a good time.
Right, and I guess that was my question. If you've been to a show before, I know you have some new things. What's new this time to bring someone back?
Well, this year we have a new intervention to the game. We have the 4-point shot.
Yeah, this should be interesting.
Right, the Globetrotters, we made a lot of things popular in basketball. You know, behind the back passes, the 3-pointer, slam dunks, and things like that before they allowed the NBA to do it. And we have the new 4-pointer, and basically what that is, we have 4 spots on the court that we activate in the last 3 minutes of each quarter.
Cool.
We start bombing away from 4-point range, which is 35 feet away from the basket, 12 feet further than the NBA 3-pointer.
Wow! And how good are you at that?
I mean, it's hit or miss. I mean, we got guys. We're gonna make a few of them. Night, you know, some nights we might make 10 or 15. Some nights we might make 5. But once they start going down, the crowd really gets involved in.
Do you always win?
We always. I'm undefeated. I'm undefeated against the Washington Generals. In 12 years, I've never lost, and I don't plan on losing this weekend.
There's something you can't say about the tournament. There you go. You can't say that about the March Madness tournament,
exactly.
the NCAA. You will lose at some point unless you're the ultimate champion.
The only way you'll lose this weekend if you come in rooting for the Washington Generals.
Well, Flight Time, I really appreciate you coming in, spending some time with us. My kids wanted me to say one more thing before we ended our interview.
All right.
Double U-turn that! Thank you so much.
All right, thank you for having me.